going to have momentarily. You're going to see a man in Orlando Canizales, as Bruce already told you, who was one of the best pound-for-pound fighters and has been thought of as you take a look at him over the years. He vacated his IBF bantamweight title and moved up to junior featherweight where he lost. He is fighting at for him, a rotund 135 pounds tonight.
Yeah, that's up 17 pounds from where he was fighting a year ago. And when you compare that to body fat and body weight, that's a tremendous jump.
All right, and Canizales is taking on Kino Rodriguez. He'll be his opponent this evening, who comes in here with a much lesser record, of course, than Canizales, but a guy that many people think could give him a good go. Canizales defended his title 16 times as IBF champion. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape and talk about this one, Dave.
Well, you don't usually see 9 pounds different with the weight, Alan. There it is, pretty stark right in front of you. Canizales was over. They let him go. That's how they'll fight it. The reach advantage a little bit to Kino Rodriguez.
All right, now the rules here in Missouri are some that you will have to think about, and David will talk to you about them.
Hey, no standing 8 count here in Missouri that the referee has to make a judgment call. 3 knockdowns in 1 round would end the fight. A fighter can only be saved by the bell in the last round. 10 points to the winner. 3 judges will score the fight. The referee does not figure into it.
All right, you're completely up to date now, so all that's left is up to us to get to boxing. To do that, let's go up to the center of the ring and Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Kansas City, Missouri's Convention Center, where tonight Holden Productions, along with UVTV and Worldwide Sports, present a gloves-off promotion. It's Raw Power, an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Missouri Office of Athletics. Let's get things started, ladies and gentlemen, with our first bout of the evening. 10 rounds in the super featherweight division. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Marvin Elam. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black with green trim and weighing in at 126 pounds. His professional record is 8-5 with 2 draws, 1 KO to his credit. From Centerton, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, Kino Rodriguez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue, trimmed with red and white, weighing in at 135 pounds. From Laredo, Texas, he brings a professional record of 38-2 with 1 draw and 1 no decision, 28 of his 38 victories by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former bantamweight champion of the world, Orlando Canizales.
Okay, gentlemen, you've been given instructions. You're in the dressing room. Watch your blows and watch your heads. Let's shake hands and have a good fight.
All right, we are set to tee it up here. That is Orlando Canizales, the former IBF bantamweight champion, once thought of as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. May still be, despite his loss when he tried to move up to the junior featherweight division. And across the way, Kino Rodriguez will be his opponent, who, as you already heard, comes in with a 8-5 2-1 record, or 8-5-2 record. You can't have an 8-5 2-1 record. What would that one be, do you think? I don't know.
No decision. 2 draws.
You got it, Dave. That's why you're here. You know all this stuff. This one is scheduled for 10 rounds, as you know. And Canizales, we talked about his weight. Literally 3 weight divisions up from where he won his title.
That is a humongous jump. It's a good point that you make, because if a fighter goes up 2 or 3 pounds down to the 118-pound range, it's considered a lot, and they worry about their weight. This is more like walking around weight, really, for him before he would get down.
Kino Rodriguez is a 31-year-old from Arizona. And, he has the 1 KO on his record. That's what I was really referring to. So he's not a huge knockout puncher. Canizales, of course, can punch. 28 KOs in his 38 wins. And as you know, if you're a boxing fan, he has been involved in some great, great fights over the years.
And those 16 title defenses at a weight class, almost unheard of today with the way fighters jump up to weight classes immediately, try to get unification, bounce, and go right for the money. But he became a force down there. And we've seen it in the bantamweight division before. Jeff Chandler was a force before Canizales. And fighters at that weight class generally stay there, and they can be identified there.
Halfway through round 1, it is scheduled for 10. There is Rodriguez trying to get a hook in.
It's been a bit of a reluctant start here for Canizales. He's waiting to plant one big one.
Of course, we mentioned the extra weight that would tend to make you a little more lethargic and maybe not moving and throwing as many combinations as you'd like. We mentioned a very small ring. That'll have a big impact on the heavyweights, but in this bout, for these little guys, maybe not such a big impact.
Canizales starting to stalk a little better here as he's trying to zero in, cut off the ring a little better and try to get right in front of Kino Rodriguez.
There's the double left hook from Canizales. That's a weapon that you've seen him use many, many times. Nice right by Rodriguez, and Canizales comes back with his own right.
And Canizales dropped his left hand as he walked in to throw his right, and he tasted a right hand coming in from Rodriguez. Let's see if he keeps his jab up higher now and his left hand up a little higher when he punches.
Just seconds remaining here in round one. So the first round, one in which Kino Rodriguez has to think, I didn't do too bad against the ex-champ. And that'll do it for round one. We sneak into Canizales' corner, where one of the most able trainers in boxing, Jesse Reed, will do the talking along with Al Bolden. Let's go to Kino Rodriguez' corner. I was just kidding. Here we go.
He gets his advice there, and probably telling him pretty much what you said.
Go to the box. Make sure you get your hands back up. He's trying to come over your jab with his right hand, all right? The hands back up, work down.
Well, Rodriguez has some moments here in the first round. Straight right hand after Canizales dropped his left hand. Keeps on coming and follows a Canizales miss with the left hook you see being launched there. And Rodriguez finding out that Canizales is just like any other fighter when he drops his hands, which he did. And so Rodriguez got himself into the fight pretty well there.
We head into round two. Orlando Canizales, the former IBF champion, in the blue trunks, and in the black and green, it is Kino Rodriguez, the 31-year-old veteran who had himself a pretty good first round, all things considered.
And the thing is, we'll see how good of a round he had. You know, you want to jump on a guy like Canizales before he gets his total rhythm, because if he finds it, he will find it real quickly.
Yes, very good point. And we've seen fighters give him trouble early, and you have to establish something with him. I agree, Dave.
One thing that round did do, though, it has made Rodriguez rather brave. And for better or worse, he is coming in.
That could be a problem for him. Nice uppercut by Kino Rodriguez. We're in round two.
Rodriguez is getting no opposition when he's starting to get his punches off. He's leaning in, he's looking, trying to find the opening, and he is getting his shot off. Canizales not worried with it, with the power that Rodriguez really doesn't have, so he's waiting for it and trying to counter in.
Nice uppercut by Canizales, and there's the good hook to the body. People watching Canizales closely among the boxing community. In his last defense of his IBF title, he had a very tough fight against Sergio Reyes. Many thought he lost as Rodriguez lands a good right hand. Then he went up to face Wilfredo Vasquez and lost in his bid for the WBA junior featherweight title. Whispers in the boxing world that he's not quite what he was.
Yeah, all it takes is the one loss, and he was expected inside the community to beat Vasquez. You know, when a guy's been consistent for so long, too, the first little slippage, and people believe they've seen a trend, so he wants to stop the possible trend.
And nowhere is that more prevalent than in the sport of boxing, where if you lose one fight, people are asking you to retire. Good right by Canizales. So round two's been a very interesting round, in which Orlando has been more aggressive, even though Kino Rodriguez has landed his share.
Lose one round and you lose one fight, you retire. Lose 2 rounds in a row, you've got to think about it.
Really? Under a minute left to go here in round two. What happens if we have a bad round?
We won't.
Oh, okay. Not that we'll admit. Good right hand by Rodriguez.
Rodriguez showing some pretty good ring generalship as he got Canizales moving around. Now he's down.
There he goes for what might have been a left hand. His mouthpiece is out. It was tough to discern the one punch that did it. starts at 6. He's having a tough time getting up. He's not going to make it.
So he spent time looking at the mouthpiece. He lost a few seconds there. And the way he's blinking his eyes, he's reacting as if he caught that punch in the eye.
Well, Orlando Canizales gets the knockout win here in round 2. Ironically, in a round in which he was getting peppered with some pretty good right hands as well.
He was, and he landed one good shot. And when we take another look at it, look at, even now, Rodriguez is more concerned with his left eye. That's where it appeared he took that shot and really blew him out. Canizales waiting, and there's a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Good shot right to the jaw. He's still standing. And then a delayed reaction knockdown that becomes.
I think it was a delayed reaction from the right to the jaw.
Yes.
As we look at it again, we'll see clearly. Oh, yeah.
It takes a couple seconds. He's still fighting. And then, hey, wait a minute, this hurts.
Yeah, and then you mentioned the left eye. That jab came off the left eye, Dave, and I think that did some damage because maybe the thumb area hit him in the eye.
Right, there's the good right hand to the jaw. He's wobbling here, off balance. Good right hand behind the head again. And Canizales wins it so quickly. We didn't get to see too much of him tonight in this new weight class.
No, we didn't. I doubt that he wants to be 135 for long. I'm sure he at least would like to get down to featherweight or junior featherweight, but tonight he's at 135 and manages to get a win against, granted, an opponent that was more of a journeyman, but Kino Rodriguez is up and we're happy about that. Michael Buffer is in the center of the ring. Let's go to him right now for the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Marvin Elam reaches the count of 10 at 2 minutes 42 seconds of round number 2. The winner, former bantamweight champion of the world, Orlando Canizales.
So Orlando Canizales gets his 39th win as a professional, and he hopes makes a statement, Dave, to the boxing world that he's still got some fight left in him, and surely he does.
Nothing will do that better than a dramatic knockout and a quick knockout. And in this case, what appeared to be an effortless knockout.
Yeah, he was up in weight, there's no question about it, and Kino Rodriguez not a top 10er, but still Orlando Canizales gets himself a big